Hello, it's Celine Healy. Welcome to my webinar. What I'm going to talk to you about today, what you're actually going to learn in the webinar, and it's completely free, and it's about 45 minutes long. So what qualifies me to talk about stress is I've actually been there and done that. So, and because of that, that means I'll be able to help you. And actually, I went right through to burnout. So this is not a really good thing to do. So um, there are so many stressed people in the world, and particularly in offices, whether you're a woman in business or a professional career woman, stress is just hugely important. And there's been lots of studies done, there's lots of statistics on this. So we don't have to actually prove that stress exists, it actually does. The thing that the thing that concerns me is a lot of people actually don't even know that they are stressed, and that's what I want to talk about in the webinar. But just to give you an idea that when we are born, everything that we do is about survival. And so stress affects us a head and a neck first. So that's the biggest area. So when someone says something to us that we may not like, or we get offended, we actually tilt our head. And so what that means, we're actually trying to survive. And so we go into a pattern of behavior, and the pattern of behavior could be overwhelm, it could be anger, it could be resentment, it could be withdrawal. So you actually tend to respond in a certain sort of way. So the thing about stress is that stress is actually if you're struggling to achieve anything, if you are straining, if you feel lack of anything in your life, whether it's money, a relationship, or you're stuck in a career or your job, your sales aren't even in your business aren't accelerating, or stagnant in some sort of way, or if you have any tension or pain anywhere in your body, then you are actually in stress. So how I actually liken stress to being out of love. So all of the positive emotions in the world, like uh, happiness and peace and kindness and love and gratitude, let's just sum those up in one word: love. All the negative emotions, like fear, doubt, judgment, guilt, and so on, they can be summed up in one word, like fear. So those two emotions is really the summary of everything that happens. So if you are out of love, you are actually in fear, and as soon as you go into fear, you're actually in stress. And stress, as I said, is either you're struggling, you're straining, you're stuck in some sort of way, or you have tension or pain anywhere in your body. So the object of the exercise is actually for you to be able to recognize the signs and symptoms of stress and do something about it, because stress actually kills, and it's the basis of up to 95% of all diseases. So if you know that and you're ignoring all these signs and symptoms, you can actually zip on by right into burnout, and we don't want that. So that's primarily what this talk is about. There are three aspects to the talk, and the first one is I'm actually talking about what stress is, and the second aspect is I'm actually talking about the first step of my model. And my model is the From Stress to Success model, which was developed over time based on what I had experienced and discovered, and through various courses and research that I had done. I wanted a way to help women in business and professional career women deal with stress simply and easily and quickly, because if you've been stuck in stress for 20, 30, 40 years, a lot of people actually want their stress overcome instantly, and sometimes you can't do that. However, I have found the techniques that will help you do that. And why I talk only about those two models, there are 5 steps in my model. The first 2 steps is called repair, so where we repair your physiology, and what that means is we actually um, retrain your autonomic nervous system, um, because stress is actually the stress response mechanism is actually in your autonomic nervous system. And so the link between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind is breath. So if we can retrain your autonomic nervous system and hence repair your system, and how we can repair your system is actually through breathing. So that's step 1. Step 2 is actually release, and release is about, did you know that if stress, the basis of all stress is your underlying negative beliefs, and patterns of behavior and so on. And this actually causes a conflict in today's world. So the patterns that you keep repeating are based on these conflicts that you've had in your belief systems for years and years and years. So what we need to do is actually release those underlying issues, because there would be no stress if you didn't have these underlying beliefs, and that is quite true. So I really need you to understand that there would be no stress if you didn't have these negative underlying beliefs and emotions. So release is kind of like, if you have, it's like having a stake in your lodged in your chest, for example, and you've had this stake for a long time between 0 and birth. And so what's happened is you've actually grown up, and you've grown, your body's grown around that stake, but that stake has been governing everything that you do. And so what that means is that you've adapted how you would respond based on these negative beliefs, because this stake is like your negative beliefs. So in the second step, we actually take that stake out, we release that charge. So when we take that out, that will actually turbocharge your results. So your results are based on those two. So the first two steps are repair and release, and that's what I want to concentrate on. And the third aspect is I do tell you more about my model, which has 5 steps, and we will go through those. It's not important for you to know that right now, but so that's what I'll be talking about in the talk. And it's important that you understand firstly what stress is, and that for you to understand that there are ways that you can overcome stress pretty easily and rapidly, and we can do it over Skype in the privacy of your own home, at various times that you choose. So that's what I want to be talking about. So I look forward to seeing you at that webinar.